You're such an asshole.
Hi, kids doing assholeconsulting.com. Continuing on Friday night because we got nothing else to do. Aaron, as far as I know, I've never lost a woman to T-Rash just because your woman hasn't met T-Rash yet. Don't you doubt T-Rash, man. So I don't feel like I'm approaching this question with any sort of bias or chip on my shoulder. I also think the bad boy versus nice guy debate is a little overblown, but I understand why it interests a lot of dudes. So I'm wondering if the conversation has been missing something crucial to trying to rationalize T-Rash. I don't know. I'll be honest. I just think he's a jack guy. they're jack dudes. They don't always have to be black, but they're just jack dudes. My personal theory was they usually come from poverty. They don't have time for fluffy prom queen king bullshit. They grow up on tough streets. They know how to fight. They end up becoming quite resourceful. I don't know. They're just kind of real guys. You know, the negative connotations of crime and thuggery or whatever else aside, it doesn't matter. Like if you're a drug dealer, a competent one, that takes a little bit of street smarts. It takes a little bit of competence. And so, like the concept of it's not a concept, it's true. Situational alpha, right? Because I was, dance instructor and I taught college courses. That's situational alpha. What's his name? Rollo Tomasi played in a band, guitar player, situational alpha. T-Rash, also situational alpha. They're like, oh, look at him. Forget Mortimer Snerd with whatever his degree in accounting. So I don't think there's a rationalization of T-Rash. You're just badass dudes that tend to be jacked. It's like, there you go. That's what go look at the girls don't get. Let me tell you something about Vegas, right? So you got the Chippendales, you got Thunder Down Under. These girls don't give a fuck if the guy's got a 6-pack abs and they're good looking and jacked. They don't ask, oh, well, what's his degree and does he have an MBA? They're not asking that. They're throwing their fucking panties up on the stage when Thunder Down Under comes out. Don't you think the appeal of T-Rash is largely because women know that T-Rash's character or lack thereof lets them off the hook for being good people themselves? In other words, don't you think these guys put women in a very comfortable position because the women feel so little pressure to be ladylike with T-Rash is always going to behave even worse? You might be imagining T-Rash's stereotypical 6-pack abs and high testosterone, which is obviously attractive, but I don't think it's that simple. For the sake of conversation, let's assume not all T-Rash is that handsome, because that might make this whole thing moot. I don't know. Don't you have to kind of be? Isn't that part of the deal? Let's continue on though in your theoretical situation. I think most women are pretty cool and also reasonable, astrology notwithstanding, but it seems like a lot of them have low self-esteem or they're anxious and insecure about the possibility that their boyfriends will find someone better. If T-Rash is such a piece of crap that they feel an odd sort of superiority over him, in theory, that would cure their insecurity. Is T-Rash a net negative in the long run? Almost certainly, but I wouldn't expect women to think that far ahead. I don't think this is great. Dude, you slammed on Nuclear Cadillo. This is great. I don't listen to your friend Nuclear Cadillo very often because his demeanor resembles a hospice patient on Benadryl. I'm so sending this to him. But I remember he made a very good point recently in one of his videos when he said that women have a fear of male expectation. I think he's exactly right. Perhaps women feel the expectations of them are low when T-Rash is around. Anyway, what do you think? Am I onto something? Let me go get my notes. You both are and are not onto something, because I'm going to go with the cheap, cowardly answer, but it's only because I think it's true. I think it's all of the above. Only because there's many different women who are motivated differently. Are there some women who find a T-Rash or a ne'er-do-weller or a swarthy, forbidden man? Yes. Yes, they like, and I'm sure maybe you're asking me to speculate about women's minds. It's Beaker. I don't have. We never figured out one thing about them. I don't know what I think they like those jack guys over there. That's it. So I got to imagine with hundreds of millions of women in the country, sure, there's some women T-Rash, like, okay, well, he's not an investment banker and he'll probably settle for me. I'm sure there's some women who think that. I do not think that is the main reason why gals are attracted generally to T-Rash. So I'm gonna go with I got it written out here. The first one, he's just physically good looking. They're usually the jack, strong, and capable, if not violent type. And violence is good in a certain way, and that means you can protect your family, your loved ones, and survive. So we're looking at it from a positive perspective. Yes, I do believe kind of your theory. They can let loose. They could just have their fun. They don't have to think, well, what's mom going to think about this guy? Maybe they feel more secure, like, oh, he's got a good thing going. But we had a real T-Rash. He'd make comments every once in a while, and he's like, yeah, it's different. I could write a book. I'm like, please do. I'll promote it. And I haven't heard from him since. There, if women are thinking that they're wrong, T-Rash has more important shit going on, like finding a job, depending if and how deep one might be criminally involved. Does he got to worry about rival gangs? Does he got to make a drug deal? All that other stuff. If I recall correctly, we're talking like, how do you get free lodging? That's what I want to know. How do you get these girls to pay your bills? And he's like, oh, there's a certain type and this and that. So I would say even more so than women feeling sick. Maybe this might be it, but they got that mothering. Oh, I could take in the stray cat. I can help him. I could feed him. I mean, that you see, I just did a video not long ago where white women, please stop feeding the animals or stop feeding the homeless or the panhandlers or whatever. They got to like, help my God. I got to help my God. Yeah, forget the hardworking guy who, I don't know, was in med school. No, you got to help out the panhandling bum. There might be a salvation savior. What do they call it? Mental illness epidemic, whatever they call it, the condition. Yeah, it could be there's no expectations. Yeah, you're right. But I think they're dangerous. They're fun. There's one along with I will take care of him. Only because I've heard it so many times before, and it's in every fucking Harlequin romance book, novel, movie thing, is the idea that I can tame him and I can change him. Now, I've personally never understood that, but that seems universal. I don't know what's so hot about grabbing a guy that you can tame. Like, oh my God, I'm going to tame him. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I know the more that the Mustang bucks, the harder it is, the more you want to kind of tame and train the Mustang. Maybe that's what it is. Again, I don't care. I mean, I'm half a century old almost. I'm not going to worry about what women want. I don't know. Who cares? We're never going to figure it out because they don't have it figured out. All we know is they act like Beaker a little bit. But yeah, generally, I'm going to say the majority reason they like T-Rash or Jack guys or dangerous guys, whatever, they're fun. It's frivolous. They're jacked. They're physically attractive. I'm going to say they're a little bit smarter than what you would see stereotypically. There's an element of street smarts and acumen, even business acumen, which women inherently will find attractive. And I would also say is they just don't give a shit about the girl. They got bigger fish to fry. They're in the lower levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Could also be they're getting them all the time, so they don't care. And when the guys don't want you, don't care, damn, do the girls want you. Holy shit. So, yeah, I could see some girls like T-Rash because they like, oh, there's no expectations. Sure. I think there are that's like the small piece of the pie on the pie chart. I think the Pac-Man size is everything else that I listed. So there you go. We got 2 super chats. Ass Bucket, $5. Tom Likas used to say it's because T-Rash has a 12-inch personality. It can be that too. He could be very good in bed. Certainly that. Thomas Crown, $5. Do the ladies mail their panties to Chad Elkins when he successfully submits their tax returns to the IRS? Hey, all the time, man. All the time. And they do the little lipstick kiss on the thing. And oh, Chad, you're so hot. Yeah, Chad has to beat girls away with the stick. That's all CPAs. Actually, if you go to the world's greatest accounting career page on Teachable, just search world's greatest accounting career, scroll down And there I have it. Become self-employed, make extra money. And then there's a picture of a young guy getting lipstick kisses all, and there's 2 girls on each side. And it says, you will not get the girls. Just truth in advertising. All right, there you guys go. If you happen to be a T-Rash, let us know. We always appreciate your insight. AssholeConsulting.com if you got questions. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.